Okay, next one is the secondary content section of the site. Now, we could just select this fella and make him a div, but that's not what I want to do. What I want to do is select all of this section. This is the secondary section of the site. All that stuff is going to go into the second div, okay? So if we select that, all of that stuff there, we go over, insert div tag, okay, and there you can see our second one. Here's our third one, another heading, and there's our content. That's going in a separate div. So we've got 1, 2, and we're making the third one now. This is the one with the bold and the italic, okay? So we come over, insert div tag, okay, and we're going to put in the fourth one, which speaks for itself, footer, and go over and insert div tag, and okay. And that is how you break your site into separate div tags. So you can see up in the top left, again, my asterisk is shown, Control S. We're going to have a look in the split, which we probably should have been working at the whole time anyway. And now you can see our HTML looks considerably different. It says body and has a div saying H1, H2 div, that div closes, then another one opens. Div, remember, a division of content. There's heading 1. We're dividing the heading 1 from division 2. We're separating our site up, breaking it up into what seems like a table, but remember, it's not. Now, there's one thing I noticed here in my unordered list, that when I did something, it lashed in these, it put in these extra paragraph headings first, and I don't want that. I want my bullets to be closer together. So this isn't really important, but it's good for you guys to see that this is what I would do if I was making the site myself. I don't need those extra paragraph points inside my unordered list, right? So I'm just going to delete that. Now I've deleted the first one, so I might as well delete the close. I'll delete this one, and then the close, and I'll delete this one and the close, and clean up my messy typing. Okay, so now we just have the list item, the content closed, list item, content closed, and the whole list closed. Now when I jump over here, you're going to see it update. So what's going to update? That S is going to go, and these 3 points are going to come closer together. Okay? So what we're going to do next is probably put proper names and definitions and classes and define these things properly. But just so you know, this is how we start breaking up websites. Okay? Let's jump across to a website that we can look at. And we'll have a look at this one. Now, I don't want to be done for any kind of copyright here, so this is just for us to look at. Let's really pay attention to the structure of this fellow. I think it's a quite nice site, actually, now that I look at it. You've got almost a kind of a secondary kind of navigation up at the top, right? Then you seem to have our main heading after that, which has kind of got what have we got here, I suppose? Some kind of message, I guess. Nice use of graphics here with nice rollovers to make it clear. Nice division of text, the way you have the grey and then the white. It makes it stand out. And then this lovely little icon here saying, go forward, take the tour. And you can see this text element again going from grey to white. This is like what we did when we made it bold and italic there. Make things stand out a little bit. Don't go over the top doing it. Here it is again. And then our rollovers are going white. Here they go a lighter shade of the grey. After that, so we've got one div. And I think this big box here with all this information that I'm looking at, here's a second one. Here's a third div. What is it? Who is it for? Why use it? More information for the user. It's clear, eh? You can see this black heading is thicker and bigger than this text here. So I'm guessing that's maybe a H4. And then we've got some paragraph text here. Let's go down. Another div, and this has got lovely use of graphics and really separating all that boring text with nice graphics. You can see they're all the same size, all these images, nice and consistent. Everything's aligned to this left edge here. Look at that. All these thumbnails are the same size. See that? And they've all got this black kind of heading, and then they've got the content underneath it. There's the equal amount of spacing between this fella and this fella. It's all clean. That's what you guys have to start looking out for. This is how web designers work. Okay, there's a lot of thought that goes into this. Again, the same thumbnail, heading, secondary text. Let's go down, 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 down. Oh, here's a nice little division here. Nice bit of green space here. That would definitely kind of breaks up the page, makes it look boring. And all it is, I guess, really is that's just one graphic, I think, because I can't select the text in it. Don't worry about that. I'll explain that another time. Here we have another graphic, nice big graphic breaking up the text. And more text here on the right and maybe kind of quotes. Now you can see the font is different this time. It's a kind of a sans serif font. Now this really jumps out, makes this information kind of pop out from the page, makes it look different. Okay, and then of course down here we have another separator and the secondary, more navigation down here. Now this is a huge footer. I've never really seen that many footers this big, but there's that same link again. Another contact link and footer information. But now I hope that will give you a kind of an idea how things are broken up. There's a div. This whole section is a div. This stuff down here is maybe a list, like we just made. Maybe it isn't. Maybe it is. We'll find out soon enough when we start making it ourselves. This is an image, more text with another paragraph. So this whole thing's a div here. Maybe this section's a div here, excluding the footer. Then we got this green bit. Maybe that's a div. All this information here, these thumbnails, are kind of div. There's one big div with the content inside it, another div here with these three headings here, and of course our header, and then this kind of separate header up on top. Very nice site. The URL is squarespace.com. I just came across that. I just saw that in my Safari thing, so there's no reason I'm clicking on that. But if you were to look at any other sites, like let's have a look in this one. It's called CSS Beauty, I think. If we go into that in Google, then it comes up here in Google. Let's have a look there. I'm going to go straight to the gallery. I don't want to spend the time clicking around. Let's have a look at the, I don't know. I'm going to click any of them. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I'll go for this one. Now already divs are jumping out. Look at it. It's square. It's square data. Look at the top. Here is a div with the menu inside it. Here's another one with maybe that looks like maybe a H1 or H2. Here's another one. And you can see this movement here. This isn't Flash. This is called Java. Okay? And it gives us that lovely kind of animation that makes our websites look less static. Okay? We might or might not have a chance to have a look at that. Excuse me. Another div section here. And another div section there for the footer. Look how they're made up, folks. It's simple. Try and learn to be able to look at these sites and to study them and know what they're made of and know how they're made. You know, that's half the battle. So I would suggest you go into CSS Beauty. There's loads more sites like that. I'll probably include them maybe in the description with this screencast. I'll pop in some links for you if I remember. Have a look at all these and have a look at lots more and see how you get on. There, look at that. There's what, 4 or 5 years worth of CSS sites for you to look through. So enjoy that. Get started with that, with making your divs. See how you get on, and then we'll be ready to hit the ground running then on next Monday. Okay, so you can see a structure up in the top left, not saved. Control S. I'll jump over to my Finder, and there you can see structure.html page is saved.